This is Rachel Lauren, and welcome to the first episode of Go to Sleep with Me. Each week, we'll be learning about a new jazz song together, and I'll be singing that song for you with the hopes of getting you nice and relaxed and ready for bed, and either falling asleep or learning something new. For the first episode, I thought we would start with arguably one of the most famous and most performed jazz standards, Autumn Leaves. The autumn leaves drift by my window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, those summer kisses, and the sunburned hands I used to hold. And since you went away, those days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song, but I miss you most of all, my darling. When autumn leaves start to fall. That was the Autumn Leaves. And next I'm going to read to you from an article from the website Current Research in Jazz. You'll have to bear with me on some of the French pronunciation, but I'll do the best I can. Autumn Leaves is the most important non-American standard. It has been recorded about 1,400 times by mainstream and modern jazz musicians alone, and is the 8th most recorded tune by jazzmen just before All the Things You Are. It was a chart hit in both Europe and America and has made regular appearances in films over the years. The composition has an interesting history that can be traced through the various published versions, and its oft-studied musical structure has ties to classical compositions. Les Feuilles Mortes, literally the dead leaves, was originally a melody composed by Joseph Cosma as a pas à deux choreographed duo for the ballet Les Rendezvous, with a plot by Jacques Prévert. It was introduced by Roland Petit in 1945 without words. The copyright dated February 27, 1946, and it was first published by Enac in Paris, France in 1947. Marcel Carné decided to use it in his film Les Portes de la Nuit and wanted it sung by Marlene Dietrich, who declined. In the movie, it's played by the whole orchestra, then by a harmonica, then hummed and sung briefly by Yves Montand, then sung by Irene Joachim, dubbed for actress Nathalie Natir, and finishes as a waltz played by the whole orchestra. The memorable French lyrics, written by Jacques Prévert, are those of a true poet. Singer Cora Vacquerie was the first to sing it in public. For 4 years, Yves Montand, whose name is invariably linked to the song, sang it with no success whatsoever. Only in 1953 did he make it popular. Since then, the song has been adapted into countless languages and sung by a wide variety of artists, ranging from pop and rock singers to jazz musicians, while not being overlooked by classical performers such as Placido Domingo and trumpet virtuoso Maurice Andre. It took some time, however, for it to become a hit in America. Michael Goldson, who was in charge of Capitol's music publishing department, fell in love with the song and in 1950 asked the great Johnny Mercer to write the English lyric, "The falling leaves drift by my window." Mercer agreed and soon forgot about it. Goldston recalls, I waited a couple of months. Finally, it had like 3 weeks to go and no lyric. I said, hey, John, I've only got 3 weeks to go and I lose the song. He said, I'm going to New York on Friday. I'll write it on the train and send it to you from New York. You'll have it within a week. Pick me up and take me to the train station. They lived on de Longpre. I was delayed. I was 15 minutes late, but we had time. I saw Johnny on the porch and he's nailing something to the door. I said, hey, John, I'm sorry I'm late, but we've got plenty of time. He said, I thought maybe you had an emergency. While I was waiting, I wrote the lyrics. We got into the car and he read to me the lyric. Tear came to my eyes. Everybody I played that song for flipped out. Mercer later told Michael Goldstein that he had made more money from Autumn Leaves than from any other song he had written. The sheet music and record sales kept Autumn Leaves in the first place slot of the television show Your Hit Parade for 16 weeks in 1955. Over the years since its first publication, the composition has undergone several adjustments. The verse is a 24-bar AAB form, though originally it was written in 12 bars. The AABC form chorus was originally written in 16 bars, but is now commonly seen as a 32-bar structure. The tune is usually played in 4/4 at medium tempo in the key of G minor, although the original edition is in A minor. The piece was a favorite of jazz musicians Miles Davis, Bill Evans, Harry James, Ahmad Jamal, Oscar Peterson, and Mel Torme. Among the many excellent jazz versions recorded over the years, some of the greatest are those by Errol Gardner in 1955, Cannonball Adderley featuring Miles Davis in 1958, Bill Evans in 1959, Bobby Timmons live in 1961, Miles Davis live at Antibes in 1963, McCoy Tyner in 1963, Eddie Luis in 1972, Wynton Marsalis in 1986, Keith Jarrett live in 1986, and one oddity is a 1958 Duke Ellington live performance on which Ozzie Bailey sings the song in French. Well, that's The Autumn Leaves, and thank you so much for joining me for my first episode of Go to Sleep with Me. And make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss the next one.